Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. I don't know whether I'll find a clip of this. If so, I'll put it on the description. From I'm a Celebrity again, the penultimate episode. I think it was the penultimate episode. Or was it the one before? No, I think it was. David Ginola was talking about his time in the camp. Yeah, I think it was the penultimate one because he was the one that was fourth. Yeah. And he was talking about how difficult it was and you know, from his normal life and like the suffering of eating rice and beans and not having much. And a lot of them have talked about that, sleeping on the floor or rough or in hammocks and stuff like that. Um, and that suffering. And what's interesting about it is, he's lucky because he doesn't have to live like that. It's just he gets to experience that like they all do for a small amount of time. Um, Maybe they need to make a reality program. Maybe this would hit it hard home. This idea of what suffering is really like. But I guess it probably wouldn't work if it was celebrities. Maybe it could be just normal people who get to live in a country. The problem is because you're born somewhere else, you're going to have a different mindset. But maybe it would work. I don't know. So I don't know whether it would be, if it would be in poor taste. But the aim would be that these people, normal people, or some celebrities, or maybe a mix, would go and live in a very poor country, um, and have to survive there and try to get a job, or live in, find a house or make their own house, a shelter to live in, and how difficult it is for some people in the world, um, to live. Then maybe we'd all understand that, because the thing is, I suspect him and all the other celebrities, they will think about this time and it's a bit of fun because it was just 3 weeks and they feel achieved or something, whereas there's people living in far worse conditions than that have been brought up into that from babies to they die. And their one existence, remember, your one existence is maybe pleasant. You're sitting on a nice coach, you've got a Christmas tree, you've got lights, you've got Christmas presents, you've got Christmas turkey, whatever, you know, trinkets, the things. And then there's people, in the same day and age, we're not talking at different times, the same day and age, who are, living in abstract poverty, with in metal shacks with sewage running by their feet, with having to go into where they put the rubbish to try and find a meal or find something. Or in their house there's no big TV, there's no LCD, there's no computer, there's no iPad, there's no Apple. There's just a cooker and beds on the floor. Maybe if there was a reality show where people live like that, I know no TV company want to make it, because the idea of TV is you always go for middle class, you always go for the middle, because if you're too rich, people think, oh, you're posh, and what would you know? And if you go too far down, then it's like, oh, you'd feel sorry for them. That's what we were taught in media. That's why they always try and pick call it the middle class, someone who has enough money, but it doesn't have too much, but doesn't have too less, so that you don't feel bad watching it. Of course, that's changed in today's TV, because there's lots of documentaries and things where that rule's broken now. But so that would maybe be an idea, that we have a program where rich and celebrities. Well, I'm not sure about celebrities, because putting them in there, it's sort of, but that you need to put them in there because that's the people that it's going to make you watch it, and maybe they can make a difference with their voice that they've been given. um, and ordinary people as well, so that they could live in these conditions, and see how bad it is, and live there for, say, a month or 2 months, so they can really feel how bad it is. And they're lucky, because they will be coming out of it back to their normal place. Maybe it should be politicians that do it, the people in power, the head of Apple, the head of the BBC, the head of the government of the UK or in America, the president, the Queen, the the head of all these big companies that are to do with politics and to do with business and to do with infrastructure and the system that are keeping the system in. All those types of people go live there for 2 months so they can see what it's like for some people, the people where these companies are making money because they're offshoring jobs to those people because it's cheaper labor, or where they're getting, to sew things because it's cheaper labor than employing in Western countries because of the wage, and they have laws where you can't pay minimum wage. All these types of things, these abuses of humanity that are happening elsewhere that we all know about. We all heard like the Primark scandal and all that kind of stuff, and Nike, and etc. So all that, why don't those people who are the ones that keep this system running, those at the top of the business and the top of the governments, they go live like that for 2 months rather than doing these COP26. Oh, I'm going to talk about how we're going to change this and make myself look really good. All that bullshit. Waste of time. Go and live like everyone else is living. Those poor people. Stay there for 2 months. Feel it. Then come back and say you're not going to make a change. You're not going to radically change the whole system of how we all live. Because, you only got 2 months. They've had lifetimes of this. And people are going to be born today in a country where they're never going to see the same happiness that we get. Take it easy, God bless and peace.